The adage that says when it rains, it pours highlights the impact of the rainy season. While some are singing showers of blessings, others are crying showers of woes. The reasons are not far-fetched, from health challenges to environmental disasters. The tales are a mouthful. Indeed, it is that time of the year, again, when farmers smile, also known as the monsoon season. The rains no doubt revitalizes the environment and provide relief from the scorching heat with fresh rainfall. But it is not all that rains brings with it, as it also carries an increased risk of waterborne diseases and other infections. On this episode of Health Options, we shall help you with tips to overcome ailment that comes with the raining season. And on the flip side, we shall share with you natural tips on managing cold and catarrh on Nature's Corner. Hopefully, it provides the therapy you need this season. I am Salwa Khalil Ibrahim. Welcome. The rainy season is some people's favorite time of the year, while for those with pre-existing health conditions such as respiratory allergies like asthma, pneumonia, the rainy season is their downtime. Malaria, cold and flu are of serious public health concerns. Cholera arising from contaminated water could also lead to casualties if not properly checked. Health experts caution that these ailments recur surge during this period. Today, I have a guest who will be sharing important tips on how to overcome the weather and stay at bay of any outbreak. But that will be right after this time out. Stay with us. Joining me is a healthy living consultant, Susan Dari. Thank you for joining us on Health Options.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so now how will you describe the weather, and does it have any impact on the general well-being?
Yes, please, it does. You know, for the farmer, it's a very good time of the year, but for a lot of people, it's such a time where, you know, their health is lots more compromised. And in the rainy season, we have more rise in infectious diseases this season, thanks to very low immune system that usually happen in this time of the year. And the environment, the rains, the immune system, people's dietary habits over time can make this season such a nightmare for people. So the rainy season is such a good time, you know, you feel good and all of that, but there's a rise in cold, flu, infectious diseases like cholera, you know, like typhoid, stomach flu, and the rains can be a very strong contributing factor if not well managed. Yeah.
Okay, now what are the most common health concerns we see most often during this period, and why? Okay.
We have in this season more of, you know, flu, cough, catarrh, outbreak of cholera, the typhoid, you know, fever.
Is it because of our habits, or the weather comes with it?
The weather comes with first of all, our habits also can contribute to this, because in this season, one, people's immune system are very low, thanks to dehydration. Because one of the things that happen in the cold season is that people drink less water, and so they most likely will be dehydrated. The weather also doesn't help because the environment is carrying very toxic microorganisms that can actually trigger these things. And then also the pollution too is another problem. The environment is polluted with, gases, waste, animal dung, dead things, decaying things. And so when rain falls, these things are released in the atmosphere. People get to inhale them, people touch themselves, people touch places. Our foods too are not spared from all of these things because they're exposed in the market. So when rain falls, and a lot of our markets are really not very clean. So when rain falls, what happens is that these rains and the dirt that it comes with settle on our food produces. People take these things home, and really, how many people really cook their foods well, and also do a lot of hand washing? So our lifestyle, our habits, poor cooking skills, people don't cook their foods very well, the environment in itself would, cause these things to happen.
Last year, there were reported cases of cholera in some parts of the country. What are the warning signs people should watch out for to avoid another, outbreak?
Okay, so you look out for signs like abdominal pain, persistent temperature, diarrhea, and the issue, a lot of people confuse diarrhea, normal purging with cholera. So that's something. So when it's persistent, vomiting, and you start seeing someone vomiting a lot, lightheadedness, person start losing weight, you know that something is going wrong and you need to go to the hospital immediately. Now, one of the reasons why these things are usually just becomes a pandemic or just an outbreak is because our populace, we are just close knitted together. So from one person, and then we don't do the whole hand washing thing. We're not careful.
Again.
People share things, share spoons, live with these people who are sick, and this thing becomes very infectious. So from one person to another, and then people say, oh, it's just purging. The person is just purging, but you don't know that it's already infectious. And so from this person to another person to another person, they meet in places, they cough into each other. We talk to ourselves, and then spits are flying all around. So these things just move from person to person. So if you notice that, you're purging consistently for a while, and it looks like it's so frequent, you're having headaches, stomach pain, especially stomach cramp, and your temperature is hitting very high figures, please go to the hospital.
And
it's
these things
emergency.
can be infectious, right?
Very, very, very infectious. It can spread very quickly among people if not well managed. So
that's another need for personal hygiene again.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Because we talked about the fact that people really don't wash their hands. We touch people that we don't know where they are coming from, where they have been to, and then we take these hands, we'll eat things, we'll put things in our mouths, and then we'll cook. We'll do a lot of things with unwashed hands. We'll touch fruits that are not well washed. All of these things get into our system and become a problem. Now, another thing people should realize is that not every microorganism can be destroyed with heat. So that you don't feel like, I will just cook it away. You can't always cook things away. Some microorganisms are heat resistant. And that's why you have to be very careful with what you eat in this season. Ensure you're washing your hands. Ensure you don't eat rotten food produce or food that are decaying or are getting bad. Or I'll just warm it. Please don't warm it. Discard immediately, because these things can cause serious food poisoning. And no, cooking can't solve the problem. Yeah.
Okay. Now, in case of any outbreak, God forbid, of course, can it be contained considering the level, our alertness and level of preparedness on the part of, ourselves as a community, and also on the other hand, on the authority?
Yes, please. When these things are spotted, it's always advisable to go to the hospital immediately. I think one of the issues we're having is people just do self-medication. They just want to stay at home and manage it themselves. Of course, the whole ORS, but at the end of the day, you still need antibiotics treatment that you may not be given just at home. So you need to go to the hospital. These are ways these things are contained, because it's more than just diarrhea. It's that now it is infectious. If people can go to the hospital and get treated, we will reduce the spread of these infectious disease that get to spread in this season. The reason why it looks like sometimes it's not contained very quickly because people don't report early. People report when it gets so bad and becomes life-threatening. So with the little symptoms you have noticed in your body, please present at the hospital. First, you would also protect your family and those around you from getting infected with these health problems. So it's always good when people present early, not just before themselves, but to prevent a spread of this. medication is never advisable when it comes to things like this. It's always better you speak to a doctor, be in the hospital, and get proper care. This way, these issues are well contained.
Okay, now let's take a quick break here. When we return, we shall explore more preventive measures. Join us again.
Kuka that's the name in Hausa.
That is call it Oshe.
In Yoruba.
Oshe, Igi Oshe.
Okay, so I know it's Kuka.
I am delighted to have you join us on Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health.
The total cholesterol is made up of some components. The high density lipoprotein, which is the good cholesterol, the low density hypoprotein, which is the bad.
Cervical cancer, a type of cancer that develops in a woman's cervix.
There were opportunities for women to get screened for both cervical and breast cancer, maybe up to 30,000, but we'll be having figures of 5,000.
If you just joined us, the program is Health Options and the NTA, and we have been looking at rainy season and associated ailments. My guest has been Susan Dari. Many thanks for being there.
Thank you.
Okay, now malaria is still another big issue in Nigeria, especially during this period when there are waterlogs, everywhere. How can one stay clear?
Okay, and this is where personal hygiene comes into play. I feel that if everybody do their job of ensuring that their environments are kept clean, and this way, this spread will reduce drastically. Ensure that your drainages are always kept clean, discard your trash appropriately, and ensure that you don't have swampy waters around you, because this is where the breed of mosquitoes, will usually happen. So personal hygiene is a very major thing that we need to begin to look into in this season, because if we don't do our job, we'll have more outbreaks like this. You have to ensure that your environment is kept clean, ensure that you regularly dispose your waste, and most importantly, your sewages are always clear. If we can stop throwing dirt in our gutters, it will prevent a lot of this mud waters collection around us, and we'll have less of these health problems. So let's do a good job on how we keep our environment clean per person, and we'll have less of all of these problems.
And that speaks to the issue of hygiene. Well, of course, it cannot be, overemphasized now. And for those with a low immune system, I know it's a big issue. Some people with pre-existing health condition like pneumonia, like I mentioned earlier, how can they also keep abreast during this period?
All right, so I'm going to talk about this in two lights. First, about the fact that hygiene will help greatly. Because the less of these infectious or these microorganisms around you, the better. So ensure that you're washing your hands, you're ensuring that your sewages are clean, you keep your environment clean, ensure that you don't have all of these swampy waters around you. It will help greatly. And as for your immune system, ensure you eat fruits a lot this season. Talking about fruits like as low as orange, apples. When people say things like, oh, fruits are expensive, I want you to weigh your options, that you will spend more treating health problems than these fruits. 200 naira orange is not too much for your health. Get those apples, get those grapes. They would help your immune system greatly. And as much as possible, stay hydrated. Dehydration is a major cause of lots of health problems, including low immune system. Water will help clear those toxins off your system, will keep you strong, would help greatly, ensure you eat your vegetables, reduce your junk intake. Like I said earlier, one of the things that will most likely happen this season is that you won't feel thirsty a lot this period because it's cold. But 2 to 3 liters of water every day would help your health and help you stay healthy. So eat your vegetables, eat good meal, reduce your junk intake, and those things get to reduce your immune system, keep your environment clean, those things that can actually spark allergies and cause an episode for you, just keep them away and ensure that you stay warm. And also you can also,
I was coming there.
Yes,
also wearing warm clothes.
Warm clothing will also help you. Take warm water, and also this would also be an advantage if you don't have ulcer. You can just do a warm water, with ginger, lemon in your water, boiled together. It's going to help greatly this season. So you can have a water with ginger, you can have with lemons, with pineapples. Just those things will help strengthen your immune system. Take warm things more this season. It will help you. Yeah.
Can vaccine play a role in preventing these public health concerns?
Yes, please. Vaccines like rotavirus will do a whole lot, especially for children. Because one of the people that will most likely suffer greatly and whose health can easily get compromised in this season are children. So give them the rota vaccine. It will help with managing diarrhea most especially. So vaccines will help greatly. And if you are not up to date with these vaccines you should take, please visit the nearest public health center to get updated with the kind of vaccines that you need to take. But vaccines will help greatly to prevent and also strengthen your immune system and ensure that you are not overwhelmed with these health problems. Yeah.
Okay, now what role, on the final note, can communities play in preventing disease outbreak during the raining season?
So as a community, we need to see this as a personal project to ensure that, because one of the reasons why we have these outbreaks is that we have lots and lots of trash and dirt collection in places. We have animals that are dead, rotten foods, and the water gets to wash these things into our houses, into our markets, into where we have our foods, and that's where we have lots and lots of these problems. So if as a community, we invest more in ensuring that our debts are properly trashed, if that involves getting, the government involved, so that we don't have those collections in our houses, we don't have those water collections, ensure that you don't throw dirt in the gutters, the drainages are, moving, we don't have these things here, we'll have less of these problems. And also, our market women too should ensure that we don't expose our foods out there in this season, because when rain falls, our food exposure, we'll get these things to our houses and then we'll have these problems. And also as a community, ensure that we have more of treated waters now. And that's something I need to also add. Ensure that you take treated water in this season. As much as possible, avoid water from your wells, from your taps, because the ground, you all share borderline, both your sewage, where your tap is flowing from, they all share borderlines, and there could be a mix somewhere. So just ensure that you maintain good hygiene in your environment. As a community, come together to ensure that you observe sanitation days, as a community, clean the environment. Yeah. Good environment, clean environment. We'll have less and less of these outbreaks.
Yeah. Hygiene cannot be overemphasized, of course, Susan Dari. Many thanks for coming on Health Options and for sharing this, valuable advice with our viewers.
Thank you.
Now, do you suffer from health condition that is being triggered by the cold weather, such as asthma, arthritis, cold and catarrh? A bowl of hot pepper soup or that herb-infused tea could just be the solution. Let's hear more from Dr. Abdul Karim on Nature's Corner.
For flu and catarrh, in your environment, you can get a lot of remedy that can protect you from even contacting flu and catarrh, and as well some allergy that can lead to flu and catarrh. For those who have their lemon at their backyard, this is a very good remedy. This can also help you. You can just have it in your bottle of water. You can be sipping much of water. When you have much rainfall and so on, make sure you are always hydrated too, because when you get dehydrated, it affects virtually all the thyroid or even the vocal lobe, where you can not speak much. You start losing your voice. You can cut it into two, then you put it in your bottle water. You can be sipping it, or you make sure the bottle water is a bit cool warm. Yes, when it's a bit warm, it's more better, preferable. And with this, the lemon, Lemon also helps in terms of detoxification as well. It can help you in terms of detoxification, detoxify the lungs and so many things in the body. Then also, the lemon has a lot of nutrient and component inside that can help you to boost your immune system. It helps you in terms of your immune system that can go against minor or let me say little bacteria that still flies when we have a condition of our rainfalls and other weather. So the climatic condition can lead to a lot of things that we have to consider in terms of our health status. Whenever we are having such climatic condition, the first thing you do is you have to make sure you change your lifestyle. You have to change the type of food we eat, and we have to change the spices we also eat. Yes, with the spices, we have a lot of things that you can mix in your, for those who are good in pepper soup. You have to spice it up with so many things this time around. There is a clove. This clove you are seeing, the red clove, is very good. Is more like antibiotic. Yes, in nature, it's more of antibiotic. It has a lot of components and also some antibacterials that takes care of all those kind of small infections that come through fluid and cold and catarrh. So it can help you with this clove. You boil your water with the clove and also sip it. You make it like your tea. You can add honey. Adding the honey, it will give you a very good syrup that has to do with cough syrup. Yes, with this you are good to go. You are against the cough. Cough cannot just come in anyhow. It's a very good antibiotic when it comes to any respiratory organs infections. Lemongrass, this is common in most of our environments. You can boil it on its own. Just the juice. You can even apply the juice on your legs where you have your aches like rheumatism, arthritis. It also helps for it. And we can also use it together with turmeric. You boil it together with turmeric. It's good to go like your tea. And as well, you can boil it with the clove and the ginger and also with the lemongrass. This is very, very good. And you can make sure once you boil it finish, make sure you sip the water. For those who have it like a fever, the catarrh is coming up like fever. Yes, and maybe the chest is already highly congested, it's heavy already, you can't even breathe the way you are supposed to breathe and so on. Once you have that steam bath and you take the inhaling of the heat in, within 3 minutes you'll feel free.
This is it on this week's episode of Health Options. As we strive to protect ourselves against the common ailment during the raining season, our heart goes out to those who lost their lives and livelihood in flood and other seasonal outbreaks across the country. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at NTA Networks, where you can watch these and previous episodes of Health Options. Stay safe. See you again next week. Bye for now.